and you learn that that medallion that you had is actually kind of a key, um, of which you've already used to activate and reveal the location of the Whispering Ways hideout. Um, you know that the Raven's Head Mace is kind of important, especially if you're a cleric of Pharasma. And, you know, you reinforce the fact that the Carrion Crown is actually a poem that creates a magical elixir for creating a lich. So, you have been thrown out of the Heritage Theater, or ushered out politely.
And I think they were gonna try and eventually send us some information on vampires later too.
Yes, on the vampire lore. And you were there late at night. You got to the theater in the evening.
And we
You were
spent the
there
night
till,
while we were researching.
yeah. So, and this is session 32. So, do you guys want to retire to the inn and take a rest?
Oh yeah.
Because God knows you don't want to go hunting vampires in the daylight.
Is it daylight?
Not yet, no.
We'll be in an hour or two as long as you all spent in the vaults.
Because after fighting those bone skeletons, it'd be nice to take a little rest.
Okay, you know, taking an 8-hour rest would put you about 6 p.m.
Ah, all my level 2 and 3 spells are gone.
It should be
Uh,
back.
yeah, you need to go to your character sheet and that was Kyrus that said that, right?
Gruka, no, they're like,
Gruka.
they disappeared.
That's weird.
Uh, at the bottom of your actions tab, change your mode to preparation.
Yeah, like literally, not, they're like all gone.
You sure you're the right Gruka? Maybe you get more than one there?
No,
There's one. That's the one. I'll just put him back in.
uh, well, down at the bottom, what is your mode saying?
It's preparation.
And what spells are you not seeing?
All of them in my level 2 and 3 are gone. And actually, one of the 4s are gone? Like, a lot of spells are gone.
Because I am seeing them.
Oh, really? Let me close the character and open it up again. That's weird, man. I'm not seeing nothing. All I see is one new spell in 2 and one new spell in 3. The only thing I see in level 4 is Wall of Sound.
Try restarting Fantasy Ground.
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, let's try that.
In the meantime, carry on. Nothing to see here.
Alright, so you all rest up for the evening and, you know, throughout the day. It's roughly 6 in the evening. And from the event at the theater, you did meet this gentleman.
Oh, that was the super friendly guy.
Yeah, the friendly guy who, is head of the archive. What was it they said exactly
The guy who
about
came to
him?
talk to us? I thought that was a different guy.
Yeah, he is the curator of the Quarterfax archives. And the other gentleman that you talked to was...
Some stuffy lord, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. When I logged in, there must have been like some weird disconnection and reconnection. It's fine now. Oh, he looks like a troublemaker.
I was just saying that. Looks
What
like
did
he's
you
trying
say?
I think when I logged in the first time, there must have been like glitches of connection, so it didn't load everything properly, but it's fine now.
What did you say he looked like?
Oh, he looks like a troublemaker.
Okay.
he looks like he should have a scar burnt to his hand that he should be using to make for a staff.
No,
Indiana Jones.
no kidding. Mr. Mudd was the head of the esoteric knights in this area.
So is that their outfit?
Oh,
The
that's
uniform?
Yeah, Mud's the guy that was that kicked us out after we fought the bone doubles.
Yeah, he's the top guy of the local chapter. And then Mr. Jolly there is the head of the Royal Archive, I guess is the best way of saying it, which is the Quarterfax Archives.
And he's a part of the esoteric order? Or was he just a guest that night at the party?
Let's see. uh, yeah, I'm going to say he's probably... It really just does not come out and say that he's a member of the order. But he kind of acquires things for the order. You know, the typical museum curator. Hey, Indy, we can make money. So he might be a good place to start for information, because truly, other than the location, you don't have much to go on.
Maybe if we kill a few vampires, we'll find out where to go.
Oh, we need to find a few vampires first.
Well, we could just keep casing the city with the medallion.
Oh, it's not me that's the medallion. I think it's Gurka that's the medallion.
So
Yeah, he's got the medallion. He's the only one that can use it, but it detects 6 undead. So.
did we identify that building that was a 3D image of it?
Yeah, it was the archives.
Oh, so it's in that building.
I mean, in it or maybe under it.
Correct.
I guess if we don't have any leads, that's a good lead.
Yeah, actually, the Quarterfax archives, it consists of several buildings, but you do know what the building looks like that has their hideout in it.
You could probably go search around the archives looking for the building.
And then we can search the building looking for the corresponding, thing we can use the medallion to open it with.
True. We can also sweep detect evil along the outside to detect an evil presence or horror or something like that.
Agreed.
I bet Darius has detect secret doors.
I think he's taking a long rest at the inn of Hannah.
Yeah, Darius got really drunk after the Bone Devil fight.
Yeah, he seemed to have lost his head.
And
He got boned.
he's gonna set this one out.
Yeah, he sent me a text or Discord says, yeah, I'm hopping on the plane now. I guess it was delayed or something.
Air travel sucks.
Never been on a plane in my life.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I always go north when I'm on vacation, so I just drive north because I live in Canada.
So you just head for the tundras?
Northern Ontario.
Just kidding. Just go visit the Wendigo, huh?
I have been to the Northwest Territories, though, canoeing.
Okay. So do you want to go search for the guy or poke around the museum?
I'd say we go poke around the museum.
Second.
Oh wait, we don't have Darius. Maybe we should talk and use diplomacy. Use that hair on Damon.
I could probably talk to the guy. He might be able to give us some information about the Califax archives, or Quarterfax.
You know how you have like a thing for tumor? You should do a thing for his hair too.
Okay. Okay, as you find the location of the archives and so forth, and you make your way to that part of the city, you can see what you would expect the typical museum buildings set up. It is surrounded by like a 10-foot wall with iron railings occasionally that you can see through, and it's a very beautiful style uh, museum, but you can tell that it's also probably well guarded. And Darius, before he passed out, um, told you, that the Quarterfax archive is kind of the royal archives and so forth. And you see at the gate there are indeed 2 sentries. And as you walk up, they go, "Hey, sorry, the museum closed at 5."
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, we just came to talk to Auburn Chalest, I think is how his name is.
No, the guy perks up and it's like, do you have an appointment?
No, we met him last night, and we'd kind of just like to talk to him about some interesting things that he told us about and what we've come up with.
Yeah, you said to come by and chat with him a little bit.
Oh, well, he's still on grounds. Would you like for me to see if he wishes to meet with you all?
Oh, that'd be great.
And
I'll be using detect evil on these two guys too.
yeah, you're not detecting any evil, and the one guy's just kind of looking up at Gruka, how excited this half orc is, and he motions for one of the other guards, and he's like, "Can we tell him who you are?"
Well, I'm Damon Grimm. This is my friend Gruka, and this is Chris Winter.
What? We don't have a party name?
Not yet, no. Well, if they did, I didn't know about it yet.
We are the Wintermoots.
Because we're all the newest people.
Yeah, they never got around to getting a party name. Darius's minions.
We're called One Short.
One short. Okay, I will. We will tell him that you're here, and he motions to the other guard who slips behind the gate, and off he goes. And you're all standing there and staring at one another awkwardly. And after a couple minutes, the other guard comes back, and he's like, "If you all will follow me, please."
Great.
And once again, he's looking at the overexcited half orc.
None of the full-plated paladin with a giant two-handed greatsword attached to his back at all.
Okay, so, he leads you in one of the many buildings at the museum, and, you're seeing all kinds of weird shit and educational crap and fancy animals and the whole 9 yards. And he leads you up a stairwell and to this very nice office of what you would expect a museum curator of his stature to have. It's like, "Hi guys, come on in.
Oh, buddy.
Hey, it's great to see you again. I'm glad you took me up on my offer."
Got any morsel sandwiches?
No, I'm sorry. I'm afraid those are only for the social occasions.
I hold out my hand and give him a little shake. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for seeing this in such short notice.
And he reaches out and grabs your hand and gives you that, the over friendly handshake.
Not too clammy, just over friendly.
Yeah, a little too energetic,
Does he look nervous or something? Like he just really wanted us on these grounds for something?
No, not at all. You don't notice. He's the same guy that was at the party.
Just a jovial fella.
Yeah, and he's like, so, I heard you all caused a little bit of a, oh, what's the proper word?
Excitement.
A bit of
Word
ruckus.
fast.
Yeah, ruckus. Shenanigans.
It was getting too exciting in there.
So I'd love to know firsthand what happened.
Out of character, should we tell him everything or just the minor?
No, I think he seems jovial. I mean, right now, Gruka doesn't feel threatened by him. And as a matter of fact, I was gonna say she just blurts whatever happened, like kind of quickly recount what happened.
As he does it, I'll be focusing on him just to see if I can sense any change in his personalities, quirks, or odd movements or anything, and detect evil again.
Yeah, I'll definitely be sense motivating.
Okay, let's deal with the detect evil first. And no, you are not detecting evil coming from him.
Over here.
So, out of curiosity, when in game, when paladins like detect evil, is it pretty obvious?
Honestly, don't know. They never really described it. It's just I can extend my senses out.
I mean, it's not like you have like this thing in your eyes and you can see it. You're actually, it's like waving your hand around or something, right? I just think it's kind of weird, like socially, you're just standing there. Oh, are you evil?
It just says at will you can detect evil as the spell. So however the spell would work. And it's a move action. Concentrate on a single individual or an item within 60 feet. Determine if he's evil, learning the strength of the aura as if it has studied it for 3 rounds. I don't actually have the spell. It's just something I can do at will. So I don't know exactly how the spell works.
Well, it has a verbal, semantic, and I'm not sure what the DF component is, but
Verbal semantic. Are you evil?
What in the world is the DF?
oh, divine focus.
Okay. Yeah. And it even takes a standard action.
For the spell, yeah.
Yeah,
For
for
the
me, it's a move
paladin, it's a
action.
special, yeah.
Okay. He kind of laughs. Don't worry, I'm not evil. Good one though.
I guess we could say Damon just kind of like puts his hand on somebody or something.
He's like shaking his hand. Are you evil? Are you evil?
So,
Uncomfortable, like extended handshake.
Yeah, you gotta work the verbal into your greetings.
are you evil?
And Damon, are you evil?
It'd be more like bless Saren Ray as I shake your hand and my little.
How are you evil? How are you doing today?
Have you heard
Okay.
the word of Saren Ray?
Okay, where were we? No, he's not
So,
evil.
Ruka was blurting out these things. These guys are like doing like some magical dance and verbal stuff to see if he's evil. How did he react to the blurting out of the facts?
Yeah, he's like, he's laughing. He finds it amusing, and he's like, they're all such, they're so tightly wound over there that sometimes they need some good excitement, and
Yeah, and they didn't even say just go fuck off. They just did niceties and told us to just ushered us out.
oh.
Well, we managed
So,
to break anything, so it was a good thing.
and he's asking you about how you activated the gargoyle, or what brought the bone devils out.
Guka holds up the medallion. He's like, yeah, look this. I turned it like this, and I stuck it on the gargoyle, and bam! All these liches show up. Well, not actual ones, but like I said before, they're just like north, east, west, south, and then boom, there was a bone devil.
They asked us for the 5th tenant of the Whispering Way. Of course, we didn't know the answer, so
Yeah, we tried to.
answer was to summon 2 bone devils.
Yeah, we tried to fake it like the taking of the Necronomicon Army of Dead.
Do you know anything about that? In your studies? What they're asking us?
Well, I know a little bit about the Whispering Way, just from my studies, and let me find the answer to that real quick.
I'm assuming we left the part out about the mace, Ravenhead mace, but we told him where we got the medallion from, the Headless Horseman guy.
Okay.
Gruka pulls out a handful of dried bugs, snacks on them.
Curious just kind of looks over in disgust.
I look over Gurkha and say, man, something must be bugging you.
Oh, that was bad.
Pretty hard.
I've lost the story entry. That is A13. Okay. That's the gargoyle. Okay, mislabeled it. Like the never found it. Okay. The fifth tenet of the Whispering Way is undying form, undying opportunity.
That's what he says.
Yes, he's like, our area, we have a history with the Whispering Tyrant and the Whispering Way, and, we do know a little bit about him. As you
well. Other tenants?
Yeah, I could probably find them for you if you'd like, but not right now.
So this guy, his name is Albrum, right?
Yes.
Or Abron?
Where the hell did he go?
Cellist?
Yeah, we'll just call him Mr. Jolly.
Alright, Jolly. Jolly, you should come with us more often. You know so much.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not much of an adventurer, I'm been sitting behind a desk too long. And, you're kind of getting the feeling that, yeah, he's probably trustworthy.
Okay, when Gruka was describing all our events last night, did Gruka tell him about the image we seen in the picture of a building that are somewhere on the grounds here?
Yeah, she would.
Yeah, he's very concerned that the Whispering Way has a lair, and
Can you imagine sitting on that, not knowing about it?
I'll ask whether there's like catacombs or something under any of
I'd
these
be
buildings.
nerve-wracked.
By your description, yeah, he tells you that it's the map was pretty specific for a hologram in this world, and you know that it's in the basement. You were able to describe the building to him, and it's in one of the museum's older structures, dedicated to um, the history of the former uh, county of Grodlich. And he's more than happy. He can make sure that you can get there without any trouble. He'll send a guard along with you up to the building to make sure that you get in okay and so forth.
Oh, Jolly, you do that for us. I promise you get first dib on any information we find. You know everything we know.
Ah, cool. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on just a minute. And, he yells down the hall, "Hey, get me a guard!" And off in the distance, you hear someone yell, "All right!"
I should have said this earlier, but I pretty much will be keeping the mace hidden so no one can actually physically see it.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. And a guard shows up, and, Jolly's like, "Good luck. I look forward to hearing the tale of your adventure and what you find out."
Yeah, she'll whisper to him. Yeah, you'll get exclusive first information, anything that we know.
Okay. And the guard escorts you over to, like I said, this older building, and you can tell that it's probably the least visited out of all of them. And
So are we standing in front of a doorway or a building?
yes, you are in front of a doorway, and sorry, gentlemen, there's no maps for this little part.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
So we went inside the building and we're just standing in front of a door right now.
Yeah, and as you enter the building, the first thing that you see is an ancient fresco, and uh, it depicts what you figure is royalty of Grodlich, and would anyone like to try maybe a knowledge religion?
Yes.
I will for the hell of it.
Lol.
Okay,
Yay, too.
and both of you all are Sarenrae, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with Sarenrae because they're all Saren rights.
Nice.
Oh Lord, it's gonna be a game. um, you all can notice Well, no, you wouldn't. Um, in this fresco, you see okay. Through the imagery in this painting, you can tell that the gentleman depicted in it uh, is a priest of Pharasma. And, it's showing him being excommunicated from the church. And he's holding a book. And the cover bears these eerily familiar stylized symbols that kind of match those that are on your medallion.
Oh yeah.
I pointed out the Gruka.
Does it look like it's indented that the medallion might fit in there?
Um, no, it's not indented.
Okay. Does it have a certain formation, it seems, that I might match on my medallion?
Yeah, you can see that it is possible to align the medallion with what you're seeing in the picture.
She'll take note of that.
And
If Gruka's going to touch it to it, I'm going to pull my sword out and activate my.
No, she's just taking note of it in terms of like a mental note.
so, would you all actively be examining this fresco now?
Visually,
Most certainly.
for Gruka, she'll be looking at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too.
Okay, let's
Gaze attack!
do some perception checks.
I'm going to see a potato. -1.
Oh, damn. Damon, open your eyes, please.
Okay, Kiris, you can see that this fresco is concealing a secret door behind it.
I pass that along.
Nice work, Gareth.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably safe to assume that the symbols on the medallion itself match up with
The lock on the door.
yeah, to open up the door.
Yes, you do see indentation in the stone where your medallion would fit.
Dun dun dun.
Before you open it, I would like to cast a spell on everybody.
Okay. Damon, is this door evil?
Well, I'll do detect evil on it. Wave a little first and say whatever I would say.
And then Gruka will detect magic.
Groovy, also your medallion can detect undead up to 60 feet. Do you see anything with it?
Sorry, I couldn't catch that. It was kind of mumbled.
Oh, your medallion can detect when dead's close too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then I'm gonna cast Badger's Ferocity on everybody. It's like Keen Weapon or Keen Edge, except it's for everybody's weapon.
Oh, I already have improved critical. I don't think that'll work for me.
So it provides keen?
Yeah.
I think mine is already maxed out at 15.
Damn it.
we would have let you know that, so you wouldn't waste it.
Okay. I need to change that spell out then. later, though. That's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
sorry. I wait. Do I have it? I don't have to 15. Wait, I misspoke.
Okay, you are not detecting any evil in the immediate vicinity. Um, you are detecting magic coming from the door, but that's probably from the arcane lock on the door.
All right. This is interesting. So I'd like to do a spellcraft to see how it works.
The arcane lock, or
The arcane lock.
uh,
Sorry, I was actually playing some Mr. with Idolion yesterday. That's what I didn't log out from.
how
Forgot
you
to use
doing
the
this
stream
evening?
deck. I'm doing all right. My game that I'm running is about to start in about half an hour, so.
Ah,
Oh,
cool.
Hey,
it's tall. How's it going?
fine. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's small. If you join the the Saturday night game that Wintermute's running does need more players. You could join that.
PM me. I'll consider it.
I definitely will.
All right, you boys have fun.
All right. See you
You
later.
too.
See ya.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay. Um, yeah, the you're able to determine that the arcane lock works in connection with the medallion.
Okay. So let's see. I shouldn't have Barkskin on. I should remove all this effects.
That's strange. Shouldn't have got it removed when we did if we had an overnight rest and now we removes that stuff.
Yeah, it should have. Unless he may
go
not
for
have
it.
had a duration on it.
All right. And then she's gonna cast shield on herself.
Well, I'm assuming it might be dark down there, so I'm not activating my own torch around myself, floats by my head.
I'm gonna cast light on my armor.
And then she'll put up a mirror image.
And I draw my greatsword.
Damn, only 4.
I'm also gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Jim, would you put a note on mine mirror image to 4, please?
Yeah, sure will. Okay. Are we ready to activate the portal?
Yep, let's activate the chevrons. I stand to the side to let Gruka play with the medallion.
Alright, Gruka will then insert the medallion.
Okay, and as you insert the medallion, the arcane lock kind of fizzles out temporarily and allows you to open the door. Um, and it reveals
Very dusty hallway.
well, it reveals a very cramped, confined room, and you can see that there's old, discarded, battered furniture, broken alchemical equipment, and looking around, you can see a few scraps of paper. Um, it looks like they have kind of moved on.
What did you say? They kind of moved on. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that they have abandoned this location.
Oh, recently?
Um, it's not very dusty, so yeah, it's been used at least within the past couple of weeks.
Hmm. I guess we should search the room, see if we can find anything.
And about the only thing that provides some clues is, on the scraps of paper, there's, notes about gathering components for some elixir or potion. And, none of these notes contain any specific information and nothing pointing out where they may have went.
So also, um, is there any other egress besides the one we just entered?
No, there is not.
All right, let's do another perception.
In this room or the house?
Yeah, in this room, in case if there's another secret door in this room.
No, you're not finding another secret door.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! If there was, we might have just found the hell out of it.
And, as you're, looking around and paying attention to the walls and so forth, searching, you hear a voice come from behind you, and it says, "Good evening. It seems I'm not the only one searching for the Whispering Way."
Is it Scooby-Doo? Oh,
No.
damn, far from it.
Yeah, it is definitely not Scooby-Doo, and and
So is he standing by the doorway, or
uh,
did he enter?
I'm gonna make a GM ruling for like detect evil, detect alignment. Um, if it's an innate ability, it's kind of like a spider sense,
Okay.
and not like a spell casting action.
Oh, yeah, because mine's an at-will.
Yeah, it's a third eye kind of thing.
Okay.
And no, you are not detecting evil coming from this gentleman.
Really? Nice.
And he's like, you found out what I found out, that, they deserted this place. And my name is Quinley, and I'm searching for my mother's killer. Perhaps we might be able to assist one another.
Oh, how convenient. What is your name again?
I am Quinley.
And how did you find this place?
I have been searching for my mother was my mother was murdered, and I'm searching for her killer, and it just happened to stumble into the Whispering Ways.
And tell me, Quinley, how did you get in here?
I think
Oh,
he flew.
I have my ways, and uh, you know, um,
Is that guard still there?
He's outside.
yeah, the guard's outside.
He looks unharmed.
We can't actually see him.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Oh, okay.
I go, you didn't harm the guard when you were coming in, did you?
No, the guard never saw me.
Well, you have special skills, Quinley, it seems.
Yeah, he holds up a little bottle, potion of invisibility.
And what have you found?
The exact same thing it does, I think.
Not a whole lot. However, um, why are you all searching for the Whispering Way?
Well, my mother died at childbirth, giving birth to me, so I'm not looking for my mother's killer.
Well, I'm looking at. We're looking for him, and a friend of mine who's not with us right now is drinking over, sleeping off a hangover because they've been doing some really weird and shady shit throughout the countryside, and we've been trying to put a stop to it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it seems like right now we're both on the trail of the Whispering Way, and I don't care anything at all about the Whispering Way, but I do want the murderer. And the vampires of Caliphus might be able to tell you where the Whispering Way went. I can introduce you if you'd like.
Interesting. So they're not on terms, these vampires on the Whispering Way?
I'm
Oh,
assuming there's a secret war going on because vampires are getting killed all over the place.
She looks at Damon. Oh, that's a good conclusion.
To answer your question, half-orc, no. The vampires and, they turned their back on the Whispering Tyrant after the Shining Crusade 800 years ago. We are no friends of the Whispering Way. The vampires are no friends.
Did he slip up there in-game or out-of-game?
I'm gonna do a quick Google and find that out.
In the meantime, I'm Gruka. And Quinlan, if I don't mind your asking about your mother's death, what was she to them that they killed her?
Okay, yeah, let's say...
I'm gonna assume he didn't slip up. He didn't just tell us he's a vampire.
Well, technically, he's a Dampier, a child of a vampire and a human.
Yeah. So as we watch him scroll up on his phone, Googling what the result is, Gruka asked him about his mother and why she crossed path, and how she crossed path with them, and
let's see. He tells you that someone is murdering vampires in the city, as you already had a pretty good idea of. he has no proof, but he suspects that another vampire is responsible. Uh,
What made you come to this conclusion? That one of your own, or one of them?
the killer has been too selective, too successful, and too secretive to be a normal living vampire hunter.
I see. An
And
inside job, so to speak.
exactly, and uh, uh, trying to unmask this killer, brought me here and on the trail of the Whispering Way. And my mother was a vampire. I am not, though I do have her blood. I'm not affiliated with the clans here, but I do work for them occasionally as a free agent. And I know their leader, um, Lubick. And yeah, I love these names. LU. I'm gonna put it in the chat window.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect for vampire names. Oh, Luvik. Nice.
And he's an elder vampire who predates even the Whispering Tyrant.
You don't say. Well, my friend here, she pats Damon on the back, has a penchant for picking out evildoers, and he doesn't seem to be picking you out. So for now, I'm good with you.
Well,
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. Uh, I could use a little help in finding this serial killer, and since you all apparently seem to be on the trail of the Whispering Way, maybe we can work together.
Out of game, one question: do we still have the bag of heads, or did we give that to the captain of the guard?
Yeah, you gave that to the captain of the guards.
I thought you were gonna say, do we still have the bag of dicks?
It's because I'm gonna say we ran into a headless horseman and a bag of heads, but unfortunately we gave that to the captain of the guards, the city watch.
Yeah, you happen to know any about that headless?
Maybe he was your hunter, or do you think it was someone else?
No, I truly suspect that it is a vampire.
Well, it seems like we've hit a dead end here. They just cleared out perhaps a week or two ago. Nothing here. What have you found?
Well, the same as you, not squat.
That's unfortunate. So from our perception check also, what did you say we saw something else or no? Or we just
No.
heard him come in?
We just heard him coming.
Yeah, you just heard him.
Okay.
And no, you did not find anything else.
Okay. So Gruka is gonna discreetly, while he's talking to the other guys, remove the medallion and put it away.
Yeah, he doesn't notice at all, and um,
Yeah,
so
Kurosawa has like a very puzzled look on his face. He's very at odds with this whole situation.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna handle this too. I mean,
Keenly, you do realize that. I mean, I'm a cleric String Ray. He's a paladin of String Ray. We just can't abide, undeath. So it might come down to the point that we have to slay your vampire kin. Are you going to be all right with that?
well, vampires are monsters, unrepentant villains. It's true, and they have found a niche in this country. When the Whispering Tyrant fell at Gallowspear, the vampires laid down their weapons and conceded the field in exchange for peace. And, since the Shining Crusades, the vampire clans of Caliphus have maintained the status quo. And, Yusalof's rulers can hold court without the fear of the tyrant's return. And, the vampires are left alone. For the most part, they leave people alone. And, the vampire slayings now could create an entirely new war in the city and across the nation. And in a war between humans and vampires, seriously, who do you think would win?
Well, that depends on what happens with the outside people. The people outside of the kingdom, because an undead war would bring a lot of paladins into
Gruka tells Quinlan to excuse her for a second as she pulls the two party members aside.
Yes, go talk amongst yourselves.
Well, listen, you two. You may have to consult with your god about all this, but it seems like if you have a thing against vampires, you might be going up a whole country full of them here. Are you prepared for that?
Only necessary, I guess.
Perhaps your church may have a way of how you can deal with this in a discreet manner, in a more smaller scale.
Well, the fact that they've maintained peace, says a lot, even though they are a blight upon the land and an abomination to Serenray, but
I don't disagree. I know little of Serenray and her teachings, but from what I hear, it seems like if you are at odds and we continue this, you may be facing situations where you may want to have to kill everything.
Well, we're not a follower of Pharasma here, okay? So there's a little bit of leeway.
Hey, we're a follower of the Redeemer. There's always a chance for everything to be redeemed. I mean,
oh, like I said, I'm ignorant to Serenray's way, but I just want to make sure we understand each other before we go further, because I will support you, but I'm not ready to fight a whole country of vampires.
Well, we do have some limited information. The guard said there hasn't been any vampire activity in centuries until just this stuff here. So I mean, part of what he said could hold true. I mean, a temporary alliance, as long as there's no harm done to mortals and to the civilians within direct view of me by anyone who's allied with us, gives me leeway not to react to them. But if they go to harm a mortal within a mortal human or of any creature of good and light, I mean, I'll have to react.
Good. We're on the same page then. Then what do you think of this guy? I feel good about him.
Well, I'm not getting anything hinky from him. I mean, just trying to, even though his mother was a vampire, I mean, he's trying to find out who killed his mother.
And perhaps we can use the knowledge he has of vampires.
I do want to do one test real quick. Won't cause any harm to him. I just want to confirm. He said he had vampire blood. He's not a vampire. But I want to confirm, basically by seeing if he is indeed undead.
Sounds like he's half human like I am.
You are not detecting undead.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, he said he doesn't, he might be a vampire at birth, but he's not with them per se, so as long as he acts all right and, isn't slaying the innocent, so to speak, I'm good with it.
Yes, I'll tell you what. I will have my guards down with him while you guys keep an eye on him. That way, perhaps we can gain his trust. He may have good knowledge of the city and of the vampires. That might be useful for us.
Yeah, this is pretty, because just to make it easier for us. I was reading something about Samurai She's. She counts all non-evil gods as her companions and is even willing to communicate with evil deities in hope of converting them from their dark ways.
Nice.
So shall we join him?
I'm down.
Yeah, me
You-
too.
You gotta love the greater good.
Yeah. But we'll let them know our grievances, that we won't act as long as they don't do anything to harm the civilians when we're
And
around.
as soon as they do, we will bring the holy sunlight of Serenray upon them, burning them where they stand.
Gruga returns to Quinlan. Quinlan, we will work with you.
I'm glad to hear that. Whatever your quarrel is with the Whispering Way, I don't care. I just want to find my mother's killer. She may have been a vampire, but she was still my mother. And, I'm really glad for your help. I can use it, and, I can help you in return. I have connections above ground as well as below ground. And, you know, um, I'm I know you're all probably hesitant to trust me outright, so, talk to some of the people that, you've met. Ask them about me. And, if you're, willing to work with me, meet me tomorrow night at, outside the Heriday Theater.
Okay. I go to him, give him one question. I go to him, since we may have to go up against not the group of vampires you're introducing us, but another group that's doing this, can you give us any tips and pointers that we might use against them as weaknesses?
He's like, I know you're conflicted about meeting with vampires and so forth, and, uh, personally, I don't give a damn about the vampires. I told you, I am here for the guy that killed my mother, and,
Because maybe you want to get a weapon that might help better against, we're going to fight the hordes of vampires that are against the ones who are trying to maintain the peace.
and let's see.
Sounds a bit like the Masquerade type of thing. If anyone's ever played that game or read the books.
Vampire Masquerade.
Yeah.
Okay.
My trusty holy undead Bane scimitar, I think will fare just fine.
Gruka, in the meantime, runs out to try find some thugs, so she can beat up and use up her buffs.
Okay, some of the weaknesses of vampires. They cannot tolerate the strong odor of garlic. They will not enter an area laced with it. They recoil from mirrors or strongly presented holy symbols. Uh, these things do not harm a vampire, they merely keep it at bay. A recoiling vampire must stay at least 5 feet away from the mirror or holy symbol and cannot touch or make melee attacks against that creature. Holding a vampire at bay is a standard action. After one round, it can overcome its revulsion to the object and functioning normally each round, although it does have to make a will save. Vampires cannot enter a private home or dwelling unless invited by someone that has the that has the authority to invite them in. Reducing a vampire's hit points to 0 or lower incapacitates it, but doesn't always destroy it. Certain attacks can slay vampires. Exposing a vampire to direct sunlight staggers it for the first round of exposure and destroys it utterly on the second consecutive round if it does not escape.
Sounds like I need to prepare a bunch of daylight spells.
Each round of immersion in running water inflicts damage on a vampire equal to 1/3 its maximum hit points. Yeah, if you drown the vampire, it is destroyed. Driving a wooden stake through a helpless vampire heart instantly destroys it. It is a full round action. However, it returns to life if the stake is removed unless you have severed the head and anointed it with holy water.
Okay.
How about resistances and immunities?
Okay. Different vampires have different abilities, but they do bite you for a blood drain that deals 1 to 4 points of constitution damage. And the vampire heals or can gain temporary hit points. They have the ability to call forth rat swarms, bat swarms, or wolves. A vampire can create a spawn out of the one that it slays with blood drain or energy drain. They have a ability to crush a humanoid opponent's will and dominate that individual as though by a dominate person spell. A creature hit by a vampire slam gains 2 negative levels. Vampires can change shape. They can go to a gaseous form. They do not cast shadows or a reflection in a mirror. And they have the spider climb ability.
Okay.
Alright, stock up on restoration.
And daylight spells, apparently.
Well, I don't think the daylight spell will work.
Yeah, daylight spell doesn't actually behave like direct sunlight.
I thought it did. Let me check.
Yeah, I think it even states that in the spell.
I thought that was the difference between light and daylight.
Well, I think it gives negatives to the one creature for daylight, but I don't think it outright destroys them. Is there any special type of weapons we should use against vampires? Besides a wooden stake?
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Probably bless to go through their anything evil.
Oh, like
As in bless weapon.
Let's see. They do have damage resistance for you need magic and silver. They do have cold and electricity resistance.
Yeah, so I'll need to find like a silver greatsword or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not meeting until tomorrow night, so.
Yeah, and he's like, gentlemen, ask around about me. Several people will vouch, including, Jolly's, Mr. Jolly here at the archive, and, even if you've met with Mr. Mod at the Esoteric Order, he can vouch for me as well.
Are they vulnerable to like fire or anything, or is it just resist cold and electricity?
Resist cold and electricity. As well as the typical undead traits.
I'll be right back. My dog's gotta go out.
Yeah, guys, do you mind if we take 5 here?
Yeah.
Actually, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to take maybe 15. Is that cool? I gotta run home. I'm actually away from home right now.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alright, so maybe at most, let's see, 23 now, let's say 35? 8:35?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Alright, sounds good. Great. I'll see you in a bit.
Alright, we'll see you guys in 15. Wow,
Right.
it's just like Vodka's back.
User disconnected from your
Except a
channel.
lot of no pit traps.
No kidding.
And a lot of interaction during the roleplay.
I agree with that. Alright, we'll see you in a few.
Okay.
Gotta love Indiana weather.
Mm.
We got 10 inches of snow on Saturday, melted Sunday and yesterday or today, and now it's raining.
Mm.
Which is quite odd for this time of year anyway. And now I think it's time for mid-game shot number 1.
Mm.
Do you live in Canada, dude?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Just outside Toronto. I used to live in Toronto, but I moved about 10 minutes outside the city.
Right on. Right on. I think you're the first Canadian I've ever talked to.
Well, Darius is Canadian too.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, he's my DM for my Friday night and Saturday night games. But yeah, he's in Florida right now, so that's why he's not been here the last 2 weeks.
That's a hell of a travel time.
Yeah, he's on vacation. He says he's just getting on a plane when we were starting.
Right. Now, this gotta be what, almost 6-7 hour flight.
It's about that probably. I mean, like I said, I've never been on a plane, but yeah, it's probably about that. Yeah, he was my first DM because I just started playing D&D a little over a year and 4 months ago.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I've been doing D&D games with him, and then when there was an opening in this because since he's playing, he said, "Oh, we can use him in a couple of members." And my Monday night game fell through, so I said, "Shit, why not? I'll join."
If you guys ever need any more players, let me know. Saturdays I'm kind of not really that great of a time, but Friday nights I'm usually pretty free.
Yeah, we're doing Rise of the Rune Lords on Friday night.
I have not played that.
Yeah, you should. And when he's on next week, you should let him know that. I'll tell him too. Yeah, he's doing. It's been fun so far. I think we're just finishing book 3. We're only
That's not
level.
bad.
I think we're just hitting level 10. We managed to kill a CR-15 monster.
Nice.
Pure luck though, because our shaman put it to sleep, and then our ranger managed to coup de grace. Pure luck. He says, "You guys shouldn't have been able to kill that if you're supposed to drive it off." Yeah, because he went to coup de grace, and since it's critical, and he has power attack and all that, he hit a thing for like 70 damage.
Damn.
No, I've been enjoying it. I started with 5e, and I think starting with 5e was a good thing because it gives me more of the watered down basics for a lot of this stuff.
Right.
This Pathfinder is complicated as hell.
Oh, that's an understatement. Trust me.
I'm still learning how to make characters.
it takes some getting used to. But once you start getting used to it, like I love Pathfinder. I mean, yeah, it's complex, but you can truly customize each class so that two people can play the same exact class, but they'll do completely different things.
Yeah, you get that with 5e, not as heavily, but you can have 2 people playing the same class and they'll be playing it completely differently. But it's not as in depth as it is with Pathfinder, but Pathfinder's been around a lot longer too.
Right.
I mean, they definitely simplified it because I mean, at most for all classes except for fighters, 2 attacks is all you really get. And there's literally only one reaction. You don't get like pretty much standing up coming up from prone doesn't get an attack of opportunity. Pretty much only way you get attack of opportunity if you move out of the threatened range of a monster. So as long as you stay within 5 feet of a monster, you can circle all the way around it without taking attack of opportunity.
Nice. That is a bit of a pain, especially when you start dealing with creatures that have reach.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Differences between 5e and
Yeah.
and 5e leaves a lot more room, I find, for role playing. I mean, this has role playing too, but 5e lets you do a lot more freeforming.
Yes, it does.
And just doing some research on Serenray in the Fates of Purity book. I just seen a freaking trait that I wish I would have taken.
Yeah, I've done a couple of 5e campaigns, and I think Curse of Strahd's still my favorite.
I don't know. I played 4th edition when it came out and utterly hated it for obvious reasons. And then I've been an avid Pathfinder player ever since. I've heard good things about 5e. I've just never had the opportunity to play it.
I do find that a lot of DMs like using it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier on our end.
Well, I can imagine.
And unlike the Pathfinder rule set, I'm really digging the 5e rule set because when the NPCs are in the combat tracker, I can cast spells without having to pull up the character sheet and everything else. And
Nice.
Yeah, they seem to then. I mean, Pathfinder just became licensed. 5e,
yeah,
yeah. But 5e, they really focused on that.
Wizards paid for 5e.
Yeah, that is one of the harder things to do in Pathfinder is playing a spellcaster, let alone DMing with various spellcasters in an encounter.
Yeah, Rob likes to. People who can't make it to the game, he just likes to play the characters. I don't know how anyone can play that many characters.
Is that Rob 2E?
Oh, it's Darius.
Oh,
He's my DM for Friday and Saturday nights games.
you would think after 32 games I would know his first name was Rob.
Yeah, you just killed me Friday. Not last Saturday, Saturday before that, before he went on vacation. My ranger. We have a guy with a scroll that can raise me, but I have to wait a couple weeks to see if I can do it. It's been driving me nuts. Yeah, we were fighting against our nemesis because he's been doing interludes in between all the books. I drove off the sorcerers that was flying around and throwing fireballs at us. I made her run away. And then I turned on the archer that was harassing me. I'll do it and dropped in one round. And then someone took a pot shot at me with a crit because I was low on hit points. Oh, that night was insane. We were rolling like none of us could roll over 5, and he was literally rolling 19s and 20s all night long.
Oh, it's the worst.
And then you had 2 people that couldn't even hit each other. Their AC was so damn high.
Yeah, these higher level ACs are getting to be a bitch.
I was like, my paladin only has 22 armor class right now. Damon. Christ, in 5e, that's considered an amazing armor class.
No kidding.
I mean, my ranger has a 29 armor class in in Saturday night games, and I still took a beating.
And, Strange Aeons, they're 11th level as well. And stock monsters, I can't hit half the damn party.
And I don't have a problem with that with the Iron Gods that I'm running.
Yeah, I think the CR system is a joke.
Yeah, well, the ones we did Friday are the one where I died. Rob had designed all the encounters himself, so we took a major beating working our way up through this flying fortress. We had one person who charmed our barbarian and had a DC of 32. I'm going, you're gonna have to crit to be save against that.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, he goes, I think that may be a mistake. Nope, that's how she is.
I think it's time for mid-game shot number 2.
I gotta say, I never realized with a noxious cloud can be so deadly. Or gas cloud, whatever it is. And once you get that nausea on you, my God, you are screwed if you fail that save.
And
Yeah,
then
there's-
throwing some black tentacles out there and really start messing people up.
Yeah, there
Actually,
are definitely times I enjoy the hell out of this game.
I'll be right back.
All right, Damon, Paladin is surrender and Cleric is surrender. We got this all day long, man. Just you and me.
If only one of you all were Pharasma where you could wield that weapon.
If we were Pharasma, though, we would have a serious problem with vampires. That's like the major tenet of their faith. Is Pharasma, like, absolutely hates anything undead.
Yeah, when the overall project designer for this brought in a guy to rewrite parts of this adventure where, hey, you might kill the vampires or you might work with them.
Which is, it's weird, though, because, like, that's a major tenet of her faith. But, like, Serenray really makes the best undead slayers.
I'm back.
Cool, I'll BRB.
Now we just need Gruka.
That's what I was saying. You and me, man, Paladin, Serenray, Cleric, Serenray, we got this all day, dude.
Yeah. I've been discovering even between the Raging and Paladin, even their spells you think may be useless, they actually can work when you use them at the right time.
Yeah, it's difficult, but that's definitely one of the lesser used aspects of a Paladin that I've seen is the spells, even a Ranger.
Oh, I've used Ghostly Dirge to good effect in this campaign so far. Making the incorporeal corporeal? Nice.
Right?
I'm trying to play a paladin, that's why I picked Samurai. She's easier to be more flexible, it seems, out of all the gods.
I'm sorry, what was that?
After reading all the gods, when I went to make a paladin, discovered that samurai seem to be more flexible for what you can and cannot do.
Absolutely.
Because paladins seem to be more locked into their alignment in this one than in 5e. Because in 5e, you don't have to be a lawful good paladin, and you don't even actually have to have a god.
Oh, nice. You have to be lawful.
You can
Well-
be neutral too.
Technically, in Pathfinder, you don't truly have to have a god as much as you have to have a belief.
You have to have a code of conduct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 5e, you have your order's tenets. You got to try to conform to. That's about it.
And a lot of people want to make a
Vengeance.
paladin of Pharasma, but Pharasma overall, Balkop. Oh my God, do not have this discussion with him. But truly, being a neutral god, you wouldn't have paladins anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's all open to interpretation too. I mean, one of my best friends is running Carrion Crown as well as this same adventure path, and
User
he
joined your channel.
he has a paladin of Pharasma as one of his players.
I'm back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one guy that wanted to do it, and initially it's like I'm okay with it. Balkoth pointed out just how many things that would break in the world.
Yes, he's very cautious about rule breaking, to say the least.
I know. Darius was telling me you had one person who was either playing a paladin or something else, and he just went on a rampage killing everything. You guys actually had that retcon one of your nights.
Yeah, our kobold. Yeah, you were here for Vox Kobold, weren't you?
No, I joined after that because I think that drove away
Okay.
some of your players.
Yeah, I had killed his spider, and he presented a unique concept, and it's a kobold that was found at birth and raised by paladins, and it's a platinum kobold. I mean, there's stats on it and everything else. But, you take this normally evil creature being raised by paladins, what the hell has he been taught all of his life? Destroy evil. And Bach went a little overboard with it and was rolling really hot that night. And yeah, the party went to shit within an hour.
Yeah, Buck seems to be a little too rigid on everything.
Yeah, it takes a certain kind of player to play well paladins, because if you're like really ultra paladin, you'll kill everything.
No, I mean, Buck in general. This dude is rule Nazi to the 10th degree.
Yeah. And, sometimes it's annoying and sometimes you learn a lot.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I like to know the rules for the thing base point, but I don't know if it says in front of this in Pathfinder's one because I've read it, but I don't remember reading that one. But I know in the 5e player's handbook it says these are rules to help. They're just a guideline. You do not have to follow them to the letter.
Even
Exactly.
Pathfinder says that somewhere. I mean, they all kind of do, but even in games I run, like I like to go by the rules as much as possible. But if I can't find it within 5 seconds, then it's like, fuck it. If it's messing with the fun of the game, just make a rule right there.
No kidding. Keep the game moving. Okay, now that everyone's back, you all just had an overnight rest, so I won't clear it out so we don't have to reset everything for you all to prep for the next combat. But you meet with Mr. Jolly, and he gives you a glowing reference that on Quinley, he
Can you do that rest for us so it clears my spells?
Yeah, because they used a couple.
okay, and
Thank you, sir.
And you can reset that one spell if you want. Pick another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, Jolly, if it's good for you, it's good for me.
yeah, from time to time, he's done the occasional odd job for both the archives and for the Esoteric Order of Knights, and they consider him a trustworthy individual who does have connections with the Vampire Underground, but he doesn't subscribe to the vampire morality.
Well, that's good to know.
Fine by me.
Okay, so if you guys want to go shopping, you have the day to do it.
Okay, I'll look for a +1 silver greatsword.
I'm gonna get some holy water and some steaks.
Yeah, and me and get some wooden stakes too.
I can just see stakes sticking out of the backpacks and everything else as you walk in to meet with the vampires.
I got a handy haversack stuffed in that backpack.
So, yeah, pretty much in a city this size, you would have no trouble finding weapons of that nature.
Okay, now I gotta figure out how much that cost.
And I can make my own holy water, but I definitely use some steaks.
And
Unless I could find a Holy Avenger for 5 gold.
Oh, you can probably find a Holy Avenger for 5 gold. Whether it works or not, that's another question.
And while you're wrapping up with Mr. Jolly, you're talking about the vampires have definitely come into the equation now, and he's aware of the unsolved murders plaguing town recently, and both him and the Esoteric Order of Knights believe that the vampires are the victims. And let's see. Yeah, and they probably, well, they recommend that this might be the best course of action, actually going to talk to the vampires for help, and offering to help them solve it in exchange for information about the Whispering Way.
Sounds good.
Okay, and I'll let you all do your shopping.
How is there not a wooden stake in Ultimate Equipment?
You probably can just get it for free, like a shillelagh. Get a wooden stick and whittle down the point.
Chop, chop, chop. The picture of Gruka just reminds me of like a punk rocker.
Oh, that's what she is. That's what she does at night. She goes to the mosh pits. So do you guys have restoration spells?
I
do. I can prepare some, yeah.
Okay, I picked up one lesser restoration. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think I spent a lot of my cash just recently, so I have like 110 gold. I don't know what you guys.
I got a bit.
I don't have much left after I bought stuff for my character.
Okay.
I got 205 left. But I do have a scroll with actual restoration.
If it was anyone else but Darius, I wouldn't point this out, but you may want to rob him while he's not here.
What ones does he have?
He's sitting on a little bit of cash. Hey, Brian, your mic's hot.
All right, someone's mic is making love to another mic or something.
And just okay. So silver greatsword. How much does it cost for a silver greatsword +1, anyways?
+1 is $2,000.
Okay. So I'll make sure.
Not sure what silver is.
Yeah, offhand, I'm not sure either.
I'll check T21.
You can change out 2 of my level 2 spells for lesser restoration.
So a +1 great sword's alchemical silver is 2530.
All right. Thank you.
Richard, can you add lesser restoration to my level 2 spells?
Yeah, sure can.
So I'm not going to have it in my inventory, but I'm stating now that I'm going to go grab some nice sturdy pieces of wood and whittle down one of the ends to a point.
Yeah, me too.
If you could add restoration to my 4th level spells, that'd be great too. Thank you. Shit.
Curious, I can show you how to do that if you want.
I clicked the right and realized I was at standard, not preparation.
The Farnaby spellbook is really useful. It's got all the effects already put in as well.
Yeah, anything up to 4th level. I wish someone would update it with 5th and 6th.
Oh, does it stop at 4th?
Yeah.
Well, it takes a lot of work to do all that stuff. I appreciate whoever did it.
No kidding.
Alright, noted that. You have to load that each time.
Yeah, do you have to what?
Do I have to load that spellbook thing each time?
You should only have to do it once.
Yeah, if it's in your library and you already opened it, and next game you come in, it should be available. If you click on the library at the bottom, right, and then
That's
there's
showing Farnaby spellbook.
so you click on where it says load, click on load, and then you go back to that window. Farnaby spellbook should show up. You see it?
I don't see load.
All right, so at the bottom, so when you click on library, right, it opens a window at the
Right.
bottom left. It says modules.
Uh-huh.
Click on that. Another window shows up, and then scroll down until you find Farnaby's spellbooks.
Okay, I haven't loaded, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't see a load button?
It's I had it loaded from last time.
Okay, then just close the data module activation window.
Uh-huh.
And let me load it here. And then when you go back to your library, you should have Barnaby's spellbook there in the bottom left-hand section. Sorry, right-hand section. Sorry, left.
I see it.
Oh, you know what I realized? I realized I have that on my local. That's why I see it right away. So if he hasn't loaded it, the GM has to share it out, I believe.
Okay, did you find it?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if you click on all spells, the third one down, you should be able to find pretty much any spells.
Is it possible to upgrade rings of protection and cloaks of resistance?
You could buy new ones.
What do you mean update? Like from your stat sheet?
Well, I got a +1 cloak of resistance. I was wondering if I can make it upgrade that cloak I have to a +2 or +3. Or do I have to buy a new one already?
I think the rule is you just pay the difference.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Anything's possible if you got the cash.
That's right. In this world or any world.
Okay, I'm going to upgrade a couple of my items. Actually, I'm going to go one big item first.
So many spells.
Okay, definitely not upgrading the belt of strength.
It's not or it is?
Oh, I'm not. I don't have. It's 16 grand to go to a +4. Even subtracting 4,000 from it's not going to help me.
Yeah. You just have to do a little at a time, one step at a time.
Yeah, I'll go for more resistance. And
How do I
armor.
add? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
That's okay.
How do I add my spells to my character sheet from the Barnaby spellbook?
Open up your character sheet and go to the actions part, and you should be able to just drag the spell name from Barnaby's into whatever spell level you're putting it into.
Yeah, make sure you drop it into. If the level doesn't show up, you might have to go to your spell thing, click on the. For example, you're playing a cleric, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you go to the cleric section of your action and you click on the little magnifying glass, it'll open up another like sub window. And then like for now, just put in like if it's level 4, like it should say 0 or something, put a number in there and then it'll open up that slot for you. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
All right, so
Kind of dealing with some window management. That's my only
you have like a small
complaint
screen
about this game.
Yeah. I have 2 monitors, so it's really helpful. So go to where it says, like probably cleric in your action. And there's a magnifying glass on the right side. You should see like level 0, 1, 2, 3, and then under each one there should be like zeros or a certain number that you already added. Are you seeing those?
I do see I see my spells. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I see all that stuff.
Okay, what level are you adding?
Level 4.
All right, so what does it say in level 4? Is there a 0 or a number?
It says cast 0/4, even though that's not right.
Above that, there should be like a little icon that looks like a book. Above level 0 spell. Has a little window on the left side. There's an icon of a book, and it'll probably say like cleric or something.
Yeah, right underneath your scimitar, you're going to see cleric. And you got a magnifying glass there.
Uh-huh.
And it'll expand that tab and show you the number of spells per level.
Yeah. So level 4, if it says 0, just put in arbitrary right now, like 1. And that should open up the spell slot for you below that. And if it was 0 before and you put in 1, and if you scroll down, level 4 should have like 1 should be able to add spells to it. Just drag the spell into level 4.
Oh, BRB.
I see.
Is it working for you?
It is.
All right, cool. So, and then each spell will, like, the little magnifying glass, all you need to do is, like, click on it, it'll expand it, and it'll show you, like, the attacks, the effects, or whatever. And then if you click on preparation at the bottom, you can click on how many you want to prepare.
Right.
And then for your reference, there's a spell called Searing Light. It does what you want it to do. It's a level 3, most for every class. For a cleric, it's a level 3. It's called. Oh no, wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, I know. I've got 4 of them prepared right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's it. That's what you want. Daylight is, from the sound of it, it's a bit of a misnomer. Searing Light is what you want.
Yeah, I looked at it, and yeah, it says if they have penalties for bright light, they can take negatives, but it otherwise does not act like actual daylight when towards creatures that are destroyed or otherwise affected by it.
Yep. All right, yeah. So, and then from now on, you can, like, just add spells yourself. And then when you're done, just hit until you get back to combat.
Yeah, I remember that from last time.
So
it was
the one important thing you want to do in each spell is to make the duration. For example, I have haste. If you click on, like the magnifying glass, right, and then you see the little man, which is the effects. Click on this. Right after, like the effects, there's a little, probably a blank space or a blank box. You click on that magnifying glass. It'll open up a window of that spell, and in that, you should see duration. Do you see that?
I believe so. 1 second.
All right. What spell would have a duration on your list?
I'm just looking at Holy Smite, level 4 clear spell that has a blinded property.
Okay.
And dealing towards undead, but it's only a round.
Okay, so if you click on the round, it'll go to minute or whatever that spell says. And then what's
So far, everything looks good.
Yeah, that's one thing you might want to put in. So when you put it in the tracker, every time we advance to the next round, it'll count it down.
Right.
I love the automation.
Yeah, it certainly helps. All right, Gruka's ready.
I'm ready.
I got a full plate +1. What would it cost to make that a +2?
I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, because I'm enchanting and upgrade. Because 5e, literally, you can only have 3 things that are magical.
Great plate, you said?
Full plate.
+2 is $8,000, so it would cost you 6 to upgrade a +1.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I can share that quick table with you.
There you have it.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll spend my last 6,000 to upgrade.
You're upgrading your +1 armor to +2?
Yeah. I was either
+2 armor is only $4,000. So the difference would be 3.
Oh shit.
Armor
that's
and
weapons
shields are
pricing.
much cheaper than weapons.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Trying to cheat the players here, GM? Pocketing all that money?
Well, I'm wondering how much extra money I gave them.
Well, I had like 18 grand, or just over 18 grand after the last adventures and all that.
So a full plate plus 2 is 56.50. So we just pay the difference.
Well, he's already enchanted it to +1, so I'm assuming you just have to pay the difference between +1 and +2, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Which is 3 grand.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And that is exactly how I have +3 mithril light fortification breastplate. Because that shit is cheap. Comparatively, anyway.
I just need to figure out how to upgrade it. So where the hell I put the bonus upgrade on this thing?
In your combat, I think. Just in the armor class. Next to total, just put up whatever.
Yeah, or you can.
Change the AC bonus to 10 instead of 9.
Right.
Alright, not only do I have 2 restoration spells prepared, but I do have a scroll, so if we do get some, luckily, as long as we don't get permanent negative levels, we should be fine.
Yep.
All I want to do now is buy a bunch of holy water, wherever the hell I get that other than books.
That'd be in basic equipment.
Yeah, they're mundane items. $25 a piece.
I should be able to make some, shouldn't I?
I can't do, but I have to memorize the spell, and we have to wait a couple of days.
I mean, it's just bless, right?
Oh no, I have empowered holy water spell.
So it is a first level spell. Or bless water.
Yeah, as I look for it, if you want to get us going there.
Yeah, give me just a second.
Oh, that's promising. Restoration Park.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a
it's
great
good.
name, isn't it?
I just realized it's better just to buy holy water than to make it.
Yeah.
You have to buy 5 pounds of powdered silver worth 25 gold just to cast blessed water on a flask.
Sounds like a lot of work.
1
Sometimes,
pint of holy water is 25 freaking gold worth of materials.
sometimes it's just good to go and buy a scones instead of baking a bunch.
Okay. Well, you meet up with Quinley.
Oh, Quinley doesn't have a face. He's just Q.
I'll make a token for you next time.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
And he tells you that let's go meet the vampires, and um, you know, um, in order to meet with their leader, Lubick, um, you've got to enter the so-called Vampire Underground. And it's a warren of tunnels and sub-basements below the city streets. The closest and most accessible entrance lies beneath the glass house, and it's the greenhouse in Restoration Park.
You know, you figure a bunch of vampires would like build something that's not glass to let in sunlight.
Well, truly, they didn't build it. When the aristocrats decided to build a city park over part of the buried level of the city, um, this half-elf druid took up their cause and decided to serve. Wait, that wasn't what I thought it was.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, this park is. Well, you didn't hear anything important anyway. Um, and this park is dedicated to the countess who reformed the city of Caliphus after the defeat of the Whispering Tyrant. And yeah, he says that there's a secret entrance underneath the in the greenhouse that allows you to enter the vampire underground. Um, However, it's entirely likely that you will encounter vampire guardians.
So we're fighting through guardians to get to these vampires.
It is a possibility. But standing outside of the park, you can see a small rise of steps leading to a wide portcullis. Um, there's two massive pillars of stone supporting a roof overhead, and they flank a pair of. Okay. That is the park entrance. Ah. Okay. You are standing. Let's scratch that. You are standing outside the park entrance. The park is officially open from dawn to dusk, although there is no gate to prevent you from going in. You know that watchmen from the city will pass through about twice an hour, but generally they don't venture into the park unless they have reason. And to the south of you, um, you can obviously see the glass house. And from the eastern side, there's two massive pillars of stone supporting a roof overhead, and they flank a pair of ornate gold-clad doors inscribed with sun motifs. And normally they are open during the day, but at this time of evening they are closed. However, being a glass house, this massive structure, it's easily 40 feet tall. Um, you can see that it houses a variety of flowering plants.
I got a feeling one's gonna try to eat me.
I will burnate it if it does.
Okay, so what would you like to do? You know,
Wait until sundown, I guess, and try to evade the watchmen or the guards.
Or we can just follow Quinn and let him lead us in.
That's the
um,
other option.
well, you got to wait till dark anyway, so not to arouse suspicion while you kill a little bit of time. You wander around the park, and you see the statue of the Countess.
We're kind of whittling wood projects.
Yeah, the Countess is there. You see a set of there's a trio of standing stones, and um, there's a reflecting pool, which are the two big pools over there. To the south of you is a massive statue depicting uh, a guy charging on a horse with an upraised blade. Um, there's another, there's a small pond just to the southeast of it. And
Can I do a
eventually,
knowledge religion for any religious symbolicism or anything?
uh, let's see, you're not getting anything from the pond. The reflecting pool. Um, on the reflecting pool, there's tall columns lining both sides of it, and it depicts. Um, you see carved into the pool's south side are likenesses of soldiers facing a menagerie of threatening creatures that are carved onto the pillars. You see Kelid barbarians, you see orcs, you see werewolves, and the undead knights of the Whispering Tyrant.
Nothing of a religious significance or anything.
No, not that you're able to determine. It's all just a memorial park, from what you can tell.
Gotcha.
And eventually it gets dark, and you can tell that everyone's out of the glass house, and Quinlan goes over and he checks the door, and sure enough, it's locked.
While we were walking around the park, did my paladin sense tingle?
No, your paladin sense has not tingled.
Okay.
And do you want to take the time to truly experience each area of the park while you were killing time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not particularly.
I mean, we have the time.
That question kind of begs, like, do you guys want me to, as a GM, to walk you through the park or just go straight? That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, I was going to do it a little simpler than that. Let's make perception checks.
Okay, here comes my potato roll.
Bam!
Fucking 2. God damn
Oh my god, I tied you.
No way. Look at that.
I rolled a -2 though, so I gave me 16, and you rolled a 2 to give yourself 16.
On the standing stones, you do notice some faded blood stains on some of the stones.
Let's do that heal check to see how long it's been there.
Good idea.
You can tell that they are, they're probably 4 or 5 months old.
I relay that to everybody.
And, Quinley says that, it's not surprising. I'm sure the vampires hunt here occasionally.
Not recently, it seems.
I'm going to assume that they were thugs who are murderers, some kind of miscreants. Hopefully.
You're probably Saren right.
Oh.
All right, that's enough of that.
And Quinley says, any of you all good at picking locks?
That's
I
funny.
was hoping that was in your department.
Well, it is a glass house, and what do they always say about glass houses? Don't throw stones.
Well, that might make a little bit of noise. And, Quinley pulls out a couple of little tools and starts fiddling with the door. And he's like, generally I'm pretty good at this, but, it's taking him a while, and eventually he gets the door unlocked.
Now I'm walking through the park with 2 great swords in my back.
And
Well,
just make sure you hold it up vertically if you want to go in a door.
Or step sideways.
okay, and I'm gonna give you all a new map here in just a second.
It's the one thing I always thought was funny when you're playing role-playing games, computer or even D&D. Do the townspeople even bother to look at these adventures when they walk through towns fully armored, wearing weapons that look like they can take out half the town in one swing? And
Well, I'm sure they probably say adventuring parties all the time.
Sure.
Did you see the movie Hot Fuzz?
Yes.
Yes.
When he walks into town with the loaded backpack, that's how I picture you all.
It's like we stand out like a sore thumb. There's another adventuring party.
I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Unless you came into town like us and we kill the headless horseman on our horse.
Okay. Practice a little window management. I don't care how many monitors you have, it's never enough.
putting us all on just my laptop.
15-inch or 13?
15, luckily.
That does make it rough.
Yeah, I got a 32-inch monitor.
I thought about putting it on my TV, but then you guys wouldn't be able to hear me very well.
I'm a paladin. I got great hair, and I got a 32-inch monitor.
I'm using 227s, and I have a 32-inch doing the player window.
And you still don't have enough screens? You're serious?
No, not really.
Well, close the porn windows, man.
Where's the
well,
fun in the background? Come on, man.
okay, so you're all standing out. The door is now open. And the first thing that you notice as you're walking in is the humidity and the heat of an active greenhouse. You see exotic flowers, creeper vines, shrubbery, and even trees growing throughout the open space. A vaulted ceiling arches 40 foot overhead, and it's supported by 4 thick columns. And there's a stone tiled pathway that winds past each exhibit.
Alright, Gruka takes a moment to cast a couple buff spells.
And Karis will do the same.
Well, I'll draw my silver greatsword and get ready.
Not drawing my weapon quite yet, as there's no hostilities, but I will cast Shield of Faith.
Well, I'll hold it non-threatening, but I'm ready.
So GM, on the combat tracker under Gruka, I have a mirror image already in there, so if you can just put in the new number, which is 7, and then you can get rid of the other one.
Seven mirrors, correct?
Yes.
Oh my god, you
Okay.
can keep away 7 vampires then.
Well, that is if they hit me 5 from my AC, then it's useless.
I was joking about the mirror part.
Oh, right. At least
Yeah.
one round.
Gosh, Kruka, get a program.
I
No
know, right?
kidding.
Throwing out all the puns, but missing the puns themselves.
Oh, the horror.
And now it's time for the before combat shot.
So does Quinley seem like the type who's leading the thing, or are we just gonna march in?
Well, he's gonna lead you to the vampires, and
Alright, from your description, we're already inside.
Oh, right, the door.
yeah, you're at the door. And give me a second.
I'm assuming it's dark in here a bit, or is there torches lit?
Well, you're able to see through the moonlight and so forth.
Okay, I'll activate my own torch just so I have vision.
I will cast light on my armor.
Okay.
Then I'm also going to preemptively cast Detect Undead, just so that I can see where they are, hopefully. Because unlike the Paladin, it is an actual spell for me.
Oh, just quickly, I just put protection from evil without thinking. That doesn't last that long. I'm gonna cast it the minute we go into an encounter, so I'll just leave it on there.
Yeah, that's not a problem, and oh, I hate when they do this. Okay, he knows where he's going. So, you would not have entered the greenhouse. Oh, too funny.
Quinlan, do you know what the fuck you're doing, man?
Come on, man. You drunk?
I don't know, but I think I see secret patches in the greenhouse.
Okay, okay. Actually, he would have led you around the side. uh, to,
A little trapdoor?
actually, you're gonna get everyone to make a will save. And, Quinlan walks over, and at this point,
Oh, come on.
uh,
Fuck.
What kind of effect is it?
Quinlan, I'm gonna kill you.
uh, Quinlan's messing around on the ground, and uh, it looks like, he's fighting with this piece of stone. And he's like, this sewer grate's a little heavy. You guys could give me a hand. And Gruka and Kiris, you know, you see him doing something, and eventually, yeah, the illusion clears for you.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can see that there is a sewer grate there.
I thought he
And
farted or something.
and Damon, you're just like, what the hell?
Damon! Damon, it's an illusion. Does that help him? Can he make another roll?
Uh, yeah, I'll allow you to see see through the illusion.
You want to make another roll? I just see through it.
Yeah, you see through it, and but yeah, you can see that there's these two iron grates, and providing access to the sewers, and um, eventually you get the grates off and so forth, and you pop down into um, the storm drain. And that would put all of you all south on the map. And you end up in this 15-foot diameter chamber, and you see a shallow trough in the floor carrying a small trickle of water to the main sewer beyond. Um, you do come upon a set of large iron gates blocking the passageway. And um, you can see that it does block the passageway, but it does allow air and water to flow freely past. And it's obvious that unless you have a way of turning into gas, you're going to have to break down the iron gates.
Oh man. Can we do a perception to see if there's a soft spot or a rusty spot or something?
Or a latch that makes the gate move.
Yeah, or some kind of like perhaps it's a door or a secret whatever. Before we actually, brute force.
Yeah, you can investigate and so forth and look at the door. There is some rust on the gate, on the grates and so forth.
I'd roll, but I'd probably find a turd.
Don't roll. All right, let's put our backs into this.
Okay, and
So we're just gonna try to push it open or something like that.
The old heave ho.
yeah, you're gonna have to heave ho a bit.
The strength roll, I guess.
Who's got an adamantine weapon?
I do, but I don't want to make any noise until we have to.
Well, you're going to be the best at dealing damage to it.
All right, 2 good strength rolls so far. If we fail, we'll have to make some noise.
Oh, I'm pretty sure pushing open a rustic grate's gonna make noise anyway.
Not as much as like banging on it. That's promising.
I aid.
So it looks like Ruka gets a +4. How about you, Quinley? Come on.
We're now done under, Quinley.
Okay, and you all start making your way through the tunnel. And as Quinley's going to lead the way, and as he comes out, maybe I should have just clicked on one of you. Quinley comes, I need to slide them back. And as Quinley emerges from the hallway there into a much larger sewer pipe, you see this. There's this narrow 5-foot wide walkway that hugs the wall, and you can see the water moving. It's got a swift current pushing east, and it's frothing and gurgling, and there's a little stone bridge to cross the other side, and
Okay.
and wow, my mouse froze for a moment. And Quinley says, you hear him shout at someone, and you can see these enslaved, or these vampire spawn guards that are coming towards Quinley, and he's holding up his hand. And the rest of you gonna stay in the round room, or are you gonna move into?
Are they undead?
Yes.
If they're within 60 feet of Gruka, it would.
Yeah, Gruka, they're undead
All right, Gruka will go aid him.
and
Yeah,
evil.
I'll let everybody know.
Sting has activated.
Oh, let's see. I'll wait to see if he can handle the situation, but if they attack him, I'll defend him.
Okay.
Just move behind, close by, to see what he will do.
Yeah, he halts and, he puts up his hands and he identifies himself and says that, he's here to see Lubick.
Secret vampire handshakes.
Yeah, the gang signs are flashing and
That's right. These would definitely be the Crips.
Oh man,
You
I
sure
just
they're not the
got that.
Bloods?
oh,
The other ones are Bloods. These guys are the Crips.
Oh, the hired vampires are Bloods. I got it.
that was good. And they recognize Quinley, and they say that they'll take you all to meet him. They are keeping a very watchful eye on the paladin and the cleric. It's not like you're all not in the wrong neighborhood.
That's right.
Well, I think the fact that we didn't just charge him outright should give him a little comfort.
You're on the fucking wrong side of the track, boys.
The town over for me literally actually has the wrong side of the tracks. They got a train that goes right. Train tracks are right through town. If you live on the south side, you live on the bad side of town.
Yeah, in Chicago, the highway, the major highway that crosses the city, was actually built for that reason.
Wow.
So I'll follow behind Quinn with my sword, just hand resting on my sword, but not threateningly. But within reach to use.
Gurka walks with a swagger, like her fingers doing some kind of signs. Starts to speak like vampire jive.
Okay, and they start taking you down a tunnel.
I'm down with that.
People want to say quickly down under.
Oh, if we were playing 5e, you'd get advantage or inspiration for that.
We should make weapons out of puns. We could just throw puns out and do damages.
Oh, you should see some of our other games. We did a Crystal Legacy, the Crystal Shard one a couple weeks ago. My God, the puns are getting thrown about that. Or one game I was playing, we came across a guy with a demon arm. He spent the entire time at dinner trying to provoke him by making pun jokes about his demon arm.
Okay, let me find where this map is.
We are no longer call. One short we are now. +7.
Do everything.
And it would be the map called the Vampire Underground. Imagine that. Okay, so anyway, you all are walking for roughly an hour.
Damn. There goes my spells.
Okay. And you would get that corner. And you're going to Okay, I've got this figured out now.
Hmm.
I need to print my little map book, so I've got the, the B1, B2.
Right.
And that map goes to you.
You want to see a horrible map? You should look at the final castle in the Curse of Strahd. IV campaign? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
So,
thinking that's going to be the next game that I run.
It's like an isometric style, not actually top down.
Gruga, your images are gone.
Okay. Anyway, as you approach, and you would be not in there yet, some guards meet with the other guards, and the new guards say that they'll take over from here and escort you to Lubick in the audience hall.
It better not have a dining table.
And
Or a massive fireplace.
they lead you.
I'm envisioning like the Skyrim vampire mods here.
Nice.
And they lead you down a hallway. And I'm going to move you out as a group. And you're standing out front of a set of doors, and they open the doors and lead you inside into the audience hall. And let's see.
Gruka pulls out her blue bandana and puts it on.
Jesus.
Whoa!
Relax, not everything goes on.
I know. It looks like Damon just collapses.
Oh, my paladin sense probably just blew up.
Bing, ding, 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 ding. And once again, you are detecting undead. You are detecting evil.
And a very strong funk of butthole, because these guys are undead.
The amulet is glowing and vibrating.
Oh, my samurai focus is probably going pretty good on my belt, too.
Hey guys, give me 2 seconds real quick. I just gotta take my dog out real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Gruka's gonna put the amulet on vibrate mode.
Yeah. And Gruka's really enjoying it.
Slowly slides the amulet a little further down.
So anyway, you enter into this grand promenade. It opens up into a wide audience hall, and it's decorated with these elaborate tapestries and art befitting a royal of Yusulav's ancient bloodlines. Ahead of you, uh, you can see this immense throne dominating the far wall, and there's two antechambers standing to either side of the promenade to the east and west. And you see four nobles in the room, as well as a guy sitting on the throne. And they appear to be discussing politics of the day and um,
God, I hope this ain't his actual bathroom.
and they are dressed in archaic finery, but it's what you would expect from an ancient race. And as you walk in, they are eyeing you like they're hungry and very curious about the intentions of the prey who would willingly walk into a predator's lair.
Incoming holy A-bomb.
And naturally, to be polite, you all come up closer, and the nobles are moving out of their way. And the vampire on the throne says, as in the days of old, those of mortal flesh stand before me. Yet you do not cower like most who look upon my undying face. My servants tell me you came of your own free will, even with the knowledge here that many would feast upon the blood surging in your veins. But is it bravery you possess, or foolishness? I respect your boldness, for now. Why have you come here, mortals?
I don't know the decorum, but from what I hear, I suppose I should bow to you. And she bows.
Oh, Agent One, we come to seek your knowledge of the Whispering Way. We also have knowledge of certain murders being done around town for those of your ilk, specifically targeting vampires.
Yeah,
Come. Go for it.
yeah, Quinley's, he looks at Quinley and he's like, why did you bring them to our lair? And, Quinley talks about, um, his mother was one of them murdered, as they well know, and he's seeking, the murderer, and they have reason to suspect that the Whispering Way is behind it. and that he met this group of individuals while tracking down the Whispering Way. And they would be interested in helping solve who's murdering the vampires.
Now, out of game from earlier, Quinley did mention that he has reason to believe there's probably someone inside the vampire community either stirring the pot or doing some in-killing here. Is that right?
Yeah. From what I remember, yes.
Yes.
All right, so she takes upon herself by telling Luvic that, and Grukas mentions that perhaps, the party can help bring that part of the bring that to light.
Well, how very noble of you. But what concern of yours are these murders?
It seems like they're connected to the Whispering Way, which is our main focus. But since the paths are crossed, perhaps we could be of service.
And what business do you have with the Whispering Way?
They seem to be trying to re-resurrect the Whispering Tyrant. And I'll just say that I came here to see for purpose for information on the Whispering Way and to help his son get vengeance for his justice for a dead parent, be it vampire or mortal. Every son deserves justice for a dead parent.
And as there's been peace with the vampires and mortals of this realm, I wish to come to the end of or seek a resolution to these murders so that we can avoid outright war and strife between the two races.
Well, I am no friend of the Whispering Way, and I would prefer to see the Whispering Tyrant remaining confined in Gallows Spire. As he has been for the past 40 decades. And, my people are being killed. And my agents are still gathering information, but in truth, we know little. And, if you help me find the killer, I'll tell you what I know of this cult and where they might have gone.
Then we have a common cause. I hear that the vampires have existed in Usulov in harmony, and I wish not, and I speak for my party, to upset that in any way.
I'm assuming they sensed the aura coming off me and Chris here, so they kind of know we're somewhat serious.
Just a little bit. And out of game, just so you understand a little bit of the history, initially the vampires supported the Whispering Tyrant. However, the turning everyone into undead and the liches and so forth, if you do that to the entire world, which the Whispering Tyrant wanted to do...
They got no food.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I was going to say. A dead cow is no good meat.
So in the end, once the tyrant was defeated, they threw down their arms for peace. And okay, back in game, it's like yeah, you know, as I said, my people know little, and uh, we do have someone in custody, a Nosferatu named Ramoska, and he claims to have nothing to do with the slayings, but that one has played a mysterious game for many years. And, you know, in addition, one of my retainers has acquired evidence suggesting that the nobility are behind the attacks. Perhaps the two are related.
No doubt it sounds.
The human
And
nobility or the vampire nobility?
human nobility.
I'll say,
And
yeah, go for it.
if you did not know, a Nosferatu is a creature cursed with eternal life and hunger, but without the grace and elegance and eternal youth of a true vampire. It is more beast than vampire.
So you said you've got evidence that indicates that the nobles may be behind it. Maybe someone's trying to pin it on the nobles to cause conflict between the two of you, while they go do their plans unnoticed in town.
These are immortal nobles, you're saying?
Yeah.
And
I don't know if I do a diplomacy roll for that or something like that.
yeah, you can.
You want me to do it in the tower?
Please. Yeah, that definitely made it. And uh, he's like I said, if you all help me find the killer, I'll tell you what I know of the way of the cult and where they might have gone. Um, you know, you're more than welcome to interview our suspect, and
Let us begin with that then.
and you should even speak with Lady Avenger. She knew many of the victims, and she's convinced that she's next. Um, her apartment lies west of here. Desmond Coate is in the cathedral to the north, and he may have some insight as well.
Okay.
If you wish to seek the evidence that we've gathered, if you wish to see the evidence that we've gathered so far, speak to my retainer Revere in his store to the east. Ramoska is being held in the old pump room also to the east. You can question him as well if you wish, but I doubt you'll get any more out of him than what we've been able to. And I will. You're all here with someone that we have no reason to mistrust. Speaking of Quinley.
Yeah.
And, you know, uh, I'll guarantee your safety while you're here. And he gives you the signet. And he's like, make sure they see it. and any vampire who sees it will know that you are my creatures and will leave you unharmed.
Okay.
But take care. Um, Even the most loyal subject will not hesitate to drain your blood if provoked. Remember always that to them you are prey, and show them the respect accorded to predators.
The same can be said about us.
How is the signet presented in like a necklace or something? If that's the case, Gruka will put it on. Otherwise, she'll find a way to kind of wear it openly.
Yeah, let's say it's a little smiley face pin with fangs.
All right, sounds good. She puts a pin on her outfit, her armor.
He
And
only gave us one, or one for all of each?
yeah, he gave you one for all of you. And he's like, in return, I only demand one thing. And
Name it, boss.
when you find the killer, you bring it to me.
Dead or alive?
Anyone who strikes down, if it turns out to be a vampire, um, anyone who strikes down a vampire elder will face justice. So, it might be okay for you to kill a vampire, but one of the old nobility, I wouldn't.
Gotcha that.
It just be say you want the person who's leading is brought back to you. Is it okay if he's missing a limb or something?
Yes, yeah, you can maim him.
Okay.
But the final judgment will be from us.
Understood.
While we will do our best to fulfill your wishes, O Ancient One, we will defend ourselves as provoked, just as a forewarning.
I understand.
Gruka holds up the signet to Kira's and Damon. Either one of you want to wear this?
I'd put it in my pocket for now.
As do I. Kind of like gingerly takes it like he's touching a piece of trash.
I think he gave one. Pocket. I think he gave one to the whole party.
Honestly, he gave one to everyone.
Oh, okay.
It just to make it uncomfortable.
Gruka wears it proudly. I'm now a crypt.
I really do like the moral dilemmas that Pathfinder works into their adventure paths.
Absolutely.
And okay, from here you can go speak with the Lady Avenger, Desmond Coate, Revere, or the vampire.
The Nosferatu?
Yes.
Let's do the vampire because I think that's here, right? Everything
No,
else is
outside. It's at the pump house outside.
No, it's all here in the Vampire Underground.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We can go to him or the lady since she thinks she's the one that's going to be attacked next.
All right, sounds
Let's
good.
go to her
Let's
first.
go to Jenya.
Okay. Let's see. It'd be nice if they said what room she was in. Her apartment's a lot west of here.
So can we put Darius as a guard on her apartment while we do
Darius is passed out somewhere.
Him and Ann are passed out somewhere.
Oh,
Probably separate rooms.
Did we hear back from what happened to Anne? The player?
No, we didn't.
Probably forgot.
Probably.
Let me see.
Or maybe a little overwhelmed with fantasy grounds and everything.
Well, I'd seen that, I don't know, he or she, I don't know, was in another game that they may have forgotten about, so they may just be overwhelmed with multiple, games or whatever.
Yeah, I'll be starting another one, I think, on Thursday next week. Remember correctly?
Woo woo.
Yeah,
you're-
got no communication from them at all.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I GM'd a lot a few years ago, and it's just really frustrating. It just like a courtesy, like I don't care if you can't do it, just a courtesy email or message or something.
Right?
Yeah. Don't even
Wow,
care if it's a lie, just.
But at this point, we don't know, so. Give 'em the
Well, it's
benefit
easier
of the
for
doubt.
Darius to go through me since I can actually tell people what break.
Honestly, let's start with,
The easiest person to find?
yeah, the Nosferatu.
Okay.
And it's to the east.
As
I've
as they
Go for
walk
it.
towards a Nosferatu's den or a cell or whatever, Gruka will ask Kiris, do you guys do aggressive interrogation? Maybe you can cast.
When they're undead, yes.
Maybe you can cast that that spell that's like sunlight on him and slowly make him more talkative.
That's the plan. Hey, vampires are humanoid, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
And everybody's still on the combat tracker. These guys go on.
Anyone got some garlic? Maybe just give him some garlic holy water to drink.
Well, I'm going to cast Hold Person on him, and then that blood will last for 11 rounds if he fails his save.
Oh, someone found the squeak toy.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of toned it out, so if it gets annoying, please feel free to say something. I made sure to take away his louder squeak toys. And I'm kind of to that point now where I just auto-tune it out. I don't even notice it anymore. So please feel free to say something if it's a problem.
No, I'm used to it. I had a puppy for the longest time before he passed away, and he used to chew on stuff all the time.
Yeah, I got really lucky with him. He just sits there and he chews on his toys while I play my games or do whatever, and he'll just come walk up to me and start whining when he's got to go potty.
Okay, as you make your way down the hallway, and I figured Gruka would probably be going first. You are approached by you see two vampire guards guarding the doorway to a room, and they instantly start snarling at you and getting to attack. And Gruka, you're first in the hall. What do you want to do?
I'll try to intimidate him.
I just flash him the signet.
Oh, this is not the Nosferatu, right? This is the guards.
Correct.
Yeah, she's wearing the signet right on her, and she's just like pointing to it.
So you're sticking out your chest and pointing.
From the
Oh!
boss.
Oh!
Boss.
From
We have
the boss.
Official business, yes.
And what about the other two? I don't see signets on them.
I
As they lick their lips.
pull it out and I have it on my middle finger as I show them.
Guys, you really should wear that or you'll get eaten.
Okay. I'll have it as part of
Alright.
a brooch for now.
So, are you lost, or what can we do for you?
We need to interrogate the Nosferatu.
Oh, okay. Well, they open the door and lead you all inside, and you can see that there's two more guards, and one of the guards steps in with you while the other one's maintaining vigil. And you see the walls of this room end in rubble to the south, where part of the ceiling has collapsed. And
All right.
wait, sorry.
No problem.
He's a little further down, so they would lead you up to the door here, and you all would be inside this room.
Quigley with us, or?
I thought I deleted something off the combat tracker.
Yeah, I thought you did too. I think Quigley would want to be with us to learn
I
more.
think I need to set him to friendly.
There you go. That would help. Hey, Quigley, you're green.
And naturally, two of the vampire guards come in the room with you. The other one's out in the hall, and the other one is guarding the door. And you can see rats and centipedes and other vermin crawling over the floor as if the carpet is alive. And
Disgusting.
Is he shackled or is he not?
Let's see.
Is the door to where he's at, is it like a barred door, like a cell door?
Yeah, well, what they've done is they've turned the pump room into a secure cell. And as you walk in, you can see that he is shackled and chained to a chair. And, he says, as you're walking in, "Good evening. More of Lubick's spawn, are you? You come to gloat some more?" "No. I could see you're no vampires. His loyal slaves, then."
I see you're not pumped about this.
Oh.
I am only slave to Sir Renray's will.
Gruko will approach. Listen up. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. See those two over there? Especially that one. No, not the one with the hair. The other one. He's got a way, They usually, they don't like to torture, but when it comes to creatures like you, they don't have a problem. And he's got the spell. It makes you hurt, like slowly. You just need the answers, and if you do it right, it won't hurt so much.
What business do you have with me?
We'll figure it out.
If you come to free me, I'm very grateful.
No, we haven't come to free you. We're here seeking questions about the dying. The vampires are being killed. The death of Quinley's mother here, and stuff to do with the Whispering Way.
Yeah, Lubick suspects that I might have something to do with the murders of the vampires in the city, but he is sadly mistaken.
Can I tell if can I sense his motives in this?
Sense motive, maybe? Can we get some sense motive going, or?
Yeah, you sure can.
And also, after Gruka says that, or in conjunction to her saying that, she's gonna try to intimidate him.
You suspect that he's being honest with you? And, as much as he'd really like to get out of the cell, being honest with you might be one of the ways to happen. And, he talks about Lubick being scared. You know, his kind and my kind, were similar, but actually quite different. And I'm an outsider who serves a powerful master, and Lubick feels threatened by this. He needs a scapegoat, and I fit the role well. And I suspect that my recent work with the Whispering Way might have had something to do with it.
Why don't you tell us about your recent work with the Whispering Way?
I'm both a student of the arcane and an alchemist by trade. The Whispering Way hired me to test the potency of a potion they're creating, a powerful mixture providing a path to leechdom. And I hasten to add that I'm no supporter of their goals, but the opportunity to test my expertise on such a concoction proved too enticing to resist.
And the result? Is it effective?
I'm assuming they're missing a stir stick.
Yes, it would be successful.
So you're responsible to creating this potion then?
No, I did not create it. I only verified that it would work.
I see. And you say, what's the leader's name again of the vampires?
Lubick.
Oh yeah, you say Lubick is afraid, is nervous. Why? That it would work? That it will work?
No, he feels threatened by me.
Why is that?
Well, partially to the fact that I'm one of the oldest vampires around. Even though I'm Nosferatu.
Kyrus whispers over to Gruka, we can't touch him because he's an elder.
She nods. So, if you are who you say you are, with such clout, why are you being captive? What does he have over you?
Did we just lose someone?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
No, sorry, my headset died. I had to plug in.
I'm not sure if you heard the last thing Gruka said. I'll just repeat it. She asked him, with such clout as he says he is, why is he being held by Lubick?
Lubick needs a scapegoat. And he fits the role very well.
If you're one of the oldest vampires around, who is your master?
I was just about to ask that.
That is a very good question.
I always hate these parts of APs. I had to run into this with Iron Guys where they're questioning people when you're jumping all around the book trying to figure out information.
No kidding. And then you always get that one question that there's never an answer for.
Right.
Did you say you ran Iron Gods?
I'm running it right now, yeah.
Oh, cool. What book are you on?
My players just started book 2, essentially, so they're a little bit into it, but not much.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I was around book 3 when things kind of fell apart. The players stopped showing up.
Oh, that sucks, because that's when it really starts getting interesting.
Yeah, I was really into it.
I'm really into Kingmaker right now. We're starting book 4 when Rob's back and I'm alive again.
That's like literally world building, isn't it, Kingmaker?
Yeah, you build kingdoms, you go on. You start off the first couple rounds, you get to build yourself a kingdom, and then you're going out on adventures to defend your kingdom and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the way Rob's running it, Darius, he also does, in between each book, he does his own little interlude story. So he started up when we first started, he gave us a competing band for the same claim, and they're pissed that we beat them to it, so they keep coming back to try to take it from us.
That's cool.
We got a kingdom of like 40,000 people now, a couple of towns.
So it's like Risk for D&D, right?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Hell's Rebels on next week.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to raid Kingmaker.
Yeah, that one seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, he has a program that helps with the kingdom builder. The kingdom building aspect of it. It automates all of it.
Very nice.
Okay. He explains that he has, for many years, he has done work for the Countess Camilla of Caliphus. She has sought to extend her life and looks. And, you know, the guy that he does some work for Count Triac as well, and Camilla contacted Triac and needed some help because she knew of his secret interest in alchemy, and Triac agreed to loan her his head researcher, which was Ramoska. And, he put a lot of work into creating an elixir of life. And it failed, so, he's made some enemies along the way. And during his work with the Countess, the Whispering Way made contact with him, asking, hey, can you test the potency of our Carrion Crown elixir? They gave him a small sample, and he confirmed that it would support the transformative process of creating a leech. However, they neglected to pay him.
The woes of being a freelancer.
No kidding.
Net 15 and they can't pay up.
And,
Well,
obviously they wanted to administer it to someone, and judging by the formula that I studied, it was someone of great importance, and it was crafted for a specific person. I'm really thinking that it's Prince Aranti who's the ruler of all Usiloth. And, it's his personal opinion that the cultists did not create the elixir for the prince's at the prince's request. It's meant to poison someone, to force such a transformation even against the unwilling. You know, you could save him or whoever it's meant for if you help me.
Well, our best way to help you is to find out who's killing the vampires in town. Do you have any inclination?
Yes, I am indeed an innocent man, and if you clear my name by finding the real vampire murderer, I'll tell you everything I know of the Whispering Way and their recent activity. I'm sure you already know that they've left Caliphus, and I can tell you where they've gone and perhaps study the sample of their elixir in more detail to see if I can find anything more. All that I learn, I'll share with you.
Of course we know they left town. We just lost track of them. Yeah, so tell us where they went.
And, you know, they did neglect to pay me. And as I said, you know, I'm not a loyal follower. I was a simple hireling. And I expect payment for my work. And if I can repay them for their treachery with the points of your swords, I'll consider it a fair trade.
I see.
All that matters to me now is escaping here and returning home. Politics and religion hold no interest for me.
If you point the way, the true way, and no trickery from you, we'll follow your lead and we'll go from there. What we bring back, perhaps it will help you and help us.
I would appreciate that.
If you misdirect us, we'll be back, and we know where you are.
And you will feel the searing light of Serenray's wrath. You don't call it a dawn flower for no reason.
Wow, I almost heard a rat there. Don't call it a comeback. Yeah, so I would just be saying to him, okay, if you want to get out of here, and we're gonna. Do you have any information about these attacks? Do you know anyone who may be behind it, or just a suspicion?
I think he just said he knows where they went.
No, he knows where the Whispering Way went, and he'll tell us that.
As far as the attacks, yeah, he has no idea who would be behind them.
Oh, damn it, another dead end.
Yeah. He was just a scapegoat.
Quigley, you make any sense of this?
No, but I believe him.
Alright, I think she's gonna back up a little bit, tell the party that we've probably got as much out of this guy as we can, and whatever we discuss, we should discuss away from his earshot.
Agreed.
Okay. And guys, I gotta go AFK for just a second.
Yeah, no problem.
As do I. Be right back.
You're gonna be so proud of me. I shot right in. As much as I'd love to put my teeth in your mouth, dog. And you're barking up the wrong tree. Yay! Yeah, I love you too, Poochie, but go. Okay, guys, I'm back.
I'm back. I think Chris is AFK for a second too.
Not a problem. Okay, Quinley is friendly, so I can... I wish Fantasy Grounds, the combat tracker, you could do it as groups. Turn this group on, turn this group off.
Can't you do that in pre-made groups, or? Well, I don't know.
Well, you know, like right now, you're in and out of several rooms, and
Nah.
you got to keep reloading and then deleting, and
Yeah, I've watched some of the videos on DMing, but yeah, it's something I'm going to be staying away from for a while. Like I said before, I said to Rob, and I think I said to you before, I have great respect for you guys because you got to put up a lot.
no kidding.
As far as I know, there's no easy way to do that.
No, not at all.
I'm back.
I'll come back.
I guess the other thing is, if you know ahead of time, you can just talk through it, and you don't have to put them in the tracker, you know? Alright, we'll talk to the next person, whoever is available, like out of game, that you can have ready for us to
Okay,
talk to.
Next closest, I guess, or whatever it was. Yeah.
and
I'm definitely exercising a lot of restraint.
Right?
okay, the next guy is Redbeard, Radvir, who is
Giovanni!
yes, it is his retainer. And this is the tailor shop, and you see a sign bearing the symbol of a needle and thread hanging outside a wooden door, marking this buried building as some sort of tailor shop. And as you walk in, you see, I think I even have an image of him.
Ooh, he's got a portrait.
Maybe? And oh, that's just funny.
That's a tailor? Jesus. These vampires don't do things half-assed, I
What
guess.
the hell?
No kidding.
What's he sewing there?
As you walk in, he's seated and he's making alterations to a very old courtier's outfit. And he looks up and recognizes,
The signets?
yes, he does.
And probably Quinley.
And yes, he's like, you know, it's good to see you again, Quinley. What can I do for you all?
Official business. We seek your knowledge.
And evidence of these killings so we can put an end to them.
I am Gruka.
You know, he's like, I'll tell you the same story I told Lubbock. Human nobles of Caliphus are hunting down the vampire elders. And, you know, he puts down his sewing and he walks over to a desk and he pulls out some papers and he's like, here are some documents taken from several minor members of the aristocracy. And these missives identify specific vampire elders and their lairs and commission their deaths in an attempt to deprive the vampires of leadership.
I'm listening to this guy to see if he's telling the truth here, because we're in vampires. These guys lie like motherfuckers.
And
Can
these,
we
mis-
sense
and
motive
these
them?
missives, they are reliable?
Can we sense motive on the missive, on the documents to see if they're like forgeries or anything?
That'd be perception, wouldn't it?
No, you need craft for that.
Okay.
Like craft, like calligraphy or forgery or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm looking at them and going, how do you know they're not just misdirects that start a war between the two sides?
Did you roll sense motive?
No, not yet. I wasn't sure you wanted us to.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll sense motive. And you can tell that he appears to be honest.
He believes in what he's saying.
Absolutely. And, you know, from what you can tell, the
Harris is
documents
rocking the numbers.
the
On skill
documents
checks.
appear to be legit. And does anyone have linguistics?
Yes.
Throw a roll.
My whopping 1.
It's better than mine, negative 50.
Not so cunning there, linguist.
And, you know, like I said, they do appear to be, legit.
I'll ask him, how'd you get the information that these lords, how did the information to come to you to get to look for it? Who relayed the information to look into these lords?
I have my little birds throughout the city.
It's 'cause
You
there's-
have your testicles, right?
Yes, I do.
I gotta throw a little Bears joke in there.
And
Would you say your little birds are good or that they so-so?
my little birds are good. They got me these documents. And, you know, I believe that Ramoska, you know, he was contracted to carry out these killings. You know, he's servants to several of Yusilov's nobles.
Man, you guys lost that so-so comment.
Oh, I know what it was for for to use a tailor. I didn't lose it. I was chuckling. Here, I'll even do a reflex sleeve to keep. Let's see if I can keep it down. Nope. No. Yeah, go to him. Could this information been misled to your birds? Because this could be some type of instigating fact to draw attention from maybe the Whispering Way or other things going on in this town. It seems convenient that stuff just falls into your lap all of a sudden.
Well, you know, in order for me to accuse someone of being responsible for these murders, you know, I would make sure that my evidence is legit.
All right, Gruka will take a look at the notes and jot down names.
Has your little birds come across a source of these notes? Something we can investigate?
You said the missives have names on them, right?
Yes, they do have names on them.
All right, that's a good start.
And, yeah, we'll make a note that you wrote down the names.
We'll probably try to do a knowledge nobility, see if any of these names are suspects. Or good suspects. motives.
I think it's personally, Damon's thinking this might be the Whispering Way stirring up trouble so they can get away cleanly.
It could be, but it probably wouldn't hurt for us to confirm everything before we
True.
like hard evidence.
Yes, he talks about that. He's sure that his evidence is legit, and how his little birds acquired this information. He's not going to divulge to you.
Of course not. I think we will go under the constant assumption that the Whispering Way is behind this, but at the same time, we need to confirm everything that we're finding.
Yeah.
A soul, even a vampire's soul, must have guilt proven.
So, how many missives are there with the names that are... We can jot those names down and investigate further.
Let's say there's at least 6 of them.
Okay. And do either of you have knowledge nobility?
I have it, but it's not high.
Yeah. All right. We'll just
do
wait
not.
until maybe.
You can also do a knowledge local.
Okay. If worst comes to worst, we'll go talk to Jolly Jovio.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't even have knowledge local.
Neither do I. I just have
Our
religion.
knowledge guy's probably still working off his.
Yeah, he's
Massive
probably
hangover.
stumbled back to the bar by now.
I'll give it a shot with my knowledge nobility, but I'll probably roll a 1.
I think if you're not trained, it's going to be.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't think
trained.
so. Oh, okay.
But it's only a +3.
I'm going to assume that once you get out of the Vampire Underground, you would follow up on these leads.
Yes.
And just so we can wrap up this end and not have to worry about it next game.
Yep.
You discover that all the names on the list have conveniently left town.
Oh, okay. Something's going down, and they're not wanting to be around.
All the names on the list are members of the Whispering Way.
And guys, this is a really good stopping point for this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Lots of info, lots of headways.
Jesus, I just noticed my acrobatic is a -11.
All right. Might want to take
Yay,
your
ownership
armor off.
penalties.
The next time you need to acrobat away, take off your armor first.
Ooh, I rolled a 0.
Holy shit.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to do some tightrope walking and
I'm gonna get myself some celestial heavy armor, man. Fly everywhere.
All right, I avoided him falling on me.
You need some mithril on that full plate there.
Yeah.
badly. All
All
right,
right, thanks
gentlemen.
so much.
We will
Next
see you
time.
next week.
And I'm still new to the Pathfinder, so I have no idea how to work the armor part yet.
Mithril makes it lighter.
Ah.